Welcome back, everybody, to another look at my life between screens. My name is Anthony Urquidez, and I am a creative and a father and a husband from Southern California. And goodness, my goodness, it feels great to be able to be back with you here again today. This episode today is going to be more of a housekeeping episode. Because I don't know, one of the things that kind of I felt bubble up this week was realizing that my goals have been fuzzy. I don't know. I don't know if you've ever had that where you feel like you've ever just been on autopilot. Like everything that's going on just seems to float by. It kind of seems like Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray. You just wake up and the same thing happens over and over again. And, life kind of gets out of focus for a second. Life happens, man. And especially with this little one, he's teething and molars are coming in and learning to walk and keeping me on the move and everything, man. And, work has been busy with football season coming up. Everybody's has to get their advertisements in. So football season's coming up, and just the 9 to 5 has been leaving me feeling like it's a 5 a.m. to 9 p.m., man. Like it's been rough mentally to then come home and then come and design. I'm doing a 36 day challenge. I guess now really it's just an alphabet challenge because I'm really just designing and posting when I'm able to, but that seems to be I'm fairly consistent. Give your boy some credit, but I'm trying to do my best, and yeah, I'm just doing it, man. Doing the 36 days of type challenge right now, and getting some great feedback, and it's I see the benefit in all of it. But to continue and to do that after doing the 9 to 5, and I mean, full disclosure, full transparency, I mean, I wake up at 3:30 every morning, and I get home at about 3:30, and then get right on the computer and start, burning the candle at both ends, I guess. And that's even that doing that for too long. I mean, I feel like it's been roughly 4 months or so since I embraced the fact that I really didn't know what I was doing independently and creatively when it came to graphic design. And I mean that, if you check out past episodes, and then maybe it might provide a little bit more context for you. But I definitely, for those new listeners, all the new listeners, all of the thousands and millions of new listeners out there, um, you know, I lost my train of thought first off, but I don't know. To move on, for everybody out there listening, I've just my goals have been fuzzy. Everything has been fuzzy. Although the autopilot has been on, and it feels like the can the candle has been burning at both ends. To use another pun, and sometimes it's nice and it's crucial, not just nice, but it's crucial and it's necessary to just stop and check in and touch base with what your goals are. And my goals have been fuzzy, and it's been regarding this podcast and regarding my profession and even regarding the community around me. So, to quote the one and only Chris Do, fuzzy goals get fuzzy results. And so I wanted to just take today as an opportunity to talk to you, to have a one-on-one with you, and let you know what I mean? You hold me accountable. I hold you accountable. If you reach out and you want me to check up on something, do something, you know what I mean, help you out, I'm here to help you and me however I can. And I feel that's a two-way street, right? You know, count on me, count on you type of deal. Uh, you know, I feel as if I tell you what my goals are, and if I make that clear, then somehow, not somehow, but it's funny how life kind of works out and attracts what you're trying to find. So, and it also helps keep me accountable with what I need, what I may need to pursue, and helps me check in and find out if I'm on track or not. So, first off and foremost, my goal for this podcast, life between screens. You know, life between screens is about me documenting my process, documenting me, um, my mindset, the ever changing pursuit. Not ever changing. How should I say that? How I need. This is where I'm learning. My What I say, how I say it, needs to be very concise and proper and accurate in order to properly convey what I'm trying to say, right? So, um, it's about documenting me, my process, my mindset, acting more but what I aim to do with this is to provide 2 shows a week through Life Between Screens, through the show known as Life Between Screens. And one will be talking about a very specific topic regarding to either design or mindset or mentality or whatever it may be. The topic is what the topic is. More of a free form, free flowing, thought interview if we're able to do that um, type of show. And another episode would be to do more of a weekly housekeeping, weekly download, you know what I mean, to kind of check in to see where I'm at, where you're at with our creative goals, and to answer any specific design question or answer any specific creative question that you may have, or uh, any hot take that you may have. If you want to reach out and give your opinion, it's going to be a hot take. Hey, all for that. And this Life Between Screens aims to be a little bit more of a personal side, of at least my outlook, my outtake, and more of a sounding board, for for um for what my my controversial design views are. And I know I had mentioned in the past about interviewing people, and if you follow me on Instagram, then you see that I've got some branding and some, identity stuff that I was working for on this future podcast called Art of the Craft. And Art of the Craft is really to highlight small businesses and creatives who care about the quality of their branding and the aesthetic, who care about creating a quality user experience, a quality customer experience, who um I don't know. You ever walk into you walk into a place and you're just like, this is generic. It's the difference between oh man. It's the difference between Big Lots, right? And Brookstone. I mean, one is going to give you the experience. I mean, I don't know. And one is just going to give you that really fluorescent lighting that is just, everything's open and on sale and whatever. And Brookstone is going to massage you nicely with the chair that's on display and that you can get, I don't know. I haven't Brookstones are still in the mall, right? are they are they still there? Are Brookstones still open? I mean, I don't know. It's the difference between Circuit City and Apple. I'll go ahead and say that. You can, and for those of you who are even too young enough, wow, even too young enough to remember Circuit City, just think it's a prehistoric Best Buy. And it's probably a good enough question, even though if you know what a Best Buy is, because God bless the online shopping, right? Good. Oh man, I love it. I love it. Don't have to leave the comfort of my own house. Thank you. Anyways, that's another. Uh, Back to Art of the Craft. Art of the Craft is to, like I said, highlight the small businesses or the creatives who own a small business, and highlight the quality of their branding and their aesthetic, and to gain insight on them and their process and what they look for in the brand presentation and what they look for when presenting this to the customer. Because I don't know, as a designer, if you're not designing with the customer in mind in order to better these businesses, in order to help your clients slash the business grow, uh, then I don't know what you're doing. I mean, no offense, hot take, I guess, hot take, but if you're not designing, with empathy and with the end goal in mind, if you're just designing to make a cute, pretty mark, then God bless you. But there are things out there that need help in the sense of trying to create a mark or a design system or a branding system that will identity system that will connect with the customer and help the business that hired you. You know, um, that's one of, I mean, maybe jumping ahead a little bit here, but that's one of my goals is to be able to help these businesses, to whoever comes to me, whoever trusts me with their identity work and with their logo or with their brand strategy, that I'm here to help in the most valuable way possible. And for Art of the Craft, I'm trying. The ultimate goal is to hopefully give you insight on some businesses or some creatives, people, whatever it may be, because I consider business creative. You know, creativity manifests in many different forms. So, I want to be able to provide new options to you guys and to help create awareness so we get out there and support these brands that care about you, that care about us. I can't just say you. I'm a customer too. I'm a customer. I'm a consumer. I consume. Man, oh man, I consume. you know, and you see behind me these books. Uh, there's a lot that goes into it. I appreciate the design. I appreciate every little thing: the cover, the spacing, the leading, the kerning. Everything that goes into the layout. Because you ever pick up a book that just you open it up and you're like, man, how was this done? Like everything's too close to the spine. I can't even read that close down there, and I'm losing my paragraphs, and just run on sentences and all that. Man, it takes a lot. It takes a lot, and yeah. Anyways, my my goal, and I know I'd probably my goal regarding my profession, regarding what I do for a living. And I may be at risk for saying this, I don't know. But my goal is to inevitably, full transparency matters. My goal is to inevitably be able to create independently on my own, without a quote unquote employer. I'm going to trade in the one employer for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other employers, right? The partners, employers, I don't know. Depending on however you want to look at it, right? But to get out there on my own and to provide some true value to these small to medium sized businesses. I truly believe that my mindset and my outlook and the attention to detail and the willingness to learn and grow, and I believe all that can provide an immense amount of value. And while it may be stressful, right? You hear everybody talk about trading in their 40 hours a week for 80 hours a week because that's what it takes. I don't know. I was listening to Jordan Peterson earlier today, and he was talking about finding a life worth living that's meaningful, and that has a lot of meaning. And to be able to help others grow their dreams, that seems pretty meaningful. And then I get to do something that makes me happy, which is design. So the Venn diagram here is just going crazy, folks. The Venn diagram is just showing that this is the path, inevitably, eventually. Hopefully, right? I don't know. Part of me goes, the superstitious side of me goes, don't say it out loud, because then it's never going to happen. But I guess what I've kind of learned is that when I don't speak up, then there's no way of really holding myself accountable. Like it's just an idea, it's just a thought. And I guess maybe that's the whole basis around today's episode is me speaking this stuff into existence, me saying it out loud, so then that way you hold me, whether it's you or the universe. Dad jokes, whether it's you or the universe, it's gonna hold me accountable to making sure that I stay on track with my goals. And if I don't say them out loud, if there's no way to refer back to them, if I don't at least think of them, if I don't at least attempt to, I don't know. Sidebar real quick, right? We're leaving off. We're gonna leave off on, I want to be creatively independent and provide an immense amount of value to small and medium-sized businesses. We're gonna leave off right there. We're gonna come right back to it. We're gonna put a pin on that. I never really thought that I would be able to achieve a goal. And that reason being is because I never really pushed myself to achieve a goal. And I can say that honestly, and um I'm bearing my belly a little bit here. I'm rolling over on the stomach or rolling over on my back, like a dog, and submitting this piece of information to you. Uh I've never not never. See, right? When we start speaking in never and always and blah 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 blah. There have been times in my life where I've all the majority of the times that I've been presented the with resistance, I've always taken the path of least resistance. And my mentality was that if I'm not feeling stress or if I'm not feeling anxious or scared or challenged, then that's good, right? Then that's real good because then that means the least amount of stress and the easy go lucky and all this other stuff. It's so easy to just kind of just float on by. Um, and then one day I really started having some you feel it in the gut and then it travels upwards and then you start feeling it in your chest and your chest feels heavy and you're just like why does it feel like I want to take off running full speed ahead 50 yards, you know what I mean, and just try and get away from this feeling, and all of a sudden anxiety starts creeping in. And that easy go lucky mentality for me, that sugar coated, very easy to swallow mentality of do whatever you can to encounter the least amount of resistance, because if you encounter less resistance means more peace, and it's like, wow, okay. But I'm going to be honest. Uh, since getting back into the therapy and doing all that, and working on my brain and my mentality and my feelings as much as I try and work on my diet and my physical health, um yeah, I started realizing that what bubbled up to the surface was the realization that with every so here we go again, speaking with the all or nothing, with the majority of resistance showing up in my life, I took the path of least resistance. And thanks to the recent reading that I've been doing, The War of Art and by Stephen Pressman, and even reading the Win Without Pitching Manifesto by Blair Enns, and I'm currently in the middle of The Brand Gap by Marty Neumeier. In the middle of reading all this, it comes to mind of, lately I've been feeling a lot of anxiety regarding all this, regarding, every episode that I record, I want to delete right away. And every design most of the designs that I post, you know what I mean, on Instagram, I start questioning. I start, that constant nagging doubt. But the one thing that I've put my foot down on is knowing that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna push forward. You're just gonna do it. You're just gonna do it no matter what. No matter how uncomfortable I feel about exposing the process, about speaking into this Sony A6000 right now, speaking into this, Rode Procaster, as uncomfortable somewhat and quote unquote that it makes me feel, right? I do it. And what I've been learning by just doing these little simple things, just by starting this podcast, just by recording the handful of episodes that I have, by connecting with the people who who have been gracious and who have lent their time and their ears, and their focus to allowing me into their lives, what I mean, by watching this on YouTube. Um, it I I I I battle with all that because I battle with the obstacles because I've now the overwhelming message that has been presented in my life the past couple weeks, and maybe it's one of those signs from the universe that it's one of the signs from the universe that I've been getting has been to embrace the obstacles, to embrace the challenge, to be wise about it. Don't make yourself suffer. Don't make it any harder than it has to be, but pick up your responsibility. You know, this is going to be tough. This is where it goes from 40 hours a week to 80/100 hours a week. Yeah, this is what happens, and I have a tendency to fall off midway, to keep everything inside, to internalize everything and go, okay, I'm going to keep myself accountable. Like I said, man, if I don't say it out loud, if I don't tell somebody, and this is quintessentially, this is going to be something that somebody can check on in 5 years, that they can go, wow, this guy did horribly, or wow, this guy did tremendously. Either way, it doesn't matter much to me because I know that, just doing this, embracing this challenge, is gonna pay off immensely. It's it's costing me nothing because it's giving me back everything. I mean, I don't, man, oh man, I don't know. Should probably post something more to articulate that and expand on that a little bit better. You know what I mean? But let me actually, it's one of those things. I don't know. Just it's given me back the ability to feel like I can speak and that I can map out what my goals are. And this episode is accountability to the fullest. You know what I mean? This episode is accountability to the fullest because I'm saying it out loud, and you're gonna keep me accountable. And when you reach out and you go like, "Hey, man, haven't seen a post from you," like, well, actually, wham, wham, wham. Hopefully that's gonna be the case. If not, if you catch me slipping, good job. Good job. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Hey, you know, this is like an amoeba, or we're it's you and we're in the trenches together. I can't at this point right now, I can't pretend to be the expert, but we're in the trenches and we'll get there, and we'll get there, and my getting there, like I said before I went off on my rant, is that creatively independent, I'm going to be taking Urquida's design company and making it a creatively independent enterprise that doesn't have a boss. I won't have a boss, but I'll have a ton of partners. Um, you know, the brands that trust me with their identity or with their strategy, we're partners. I'm one day, I don't know. My goal, I don't know what your goal is. I can't dictate what your goal is, but my goal is to have partners instead of bosses. And within 5 years, within 5 years from today, on August 30th, I'm recording this August 30th, putting it out September 2nd. But August 30th, within 5 years, I wish to be making $150K a year, all from clients. And I know that sounds like a lofty goal, but why not make your goals lofty? One. And two, if I break that down, that's $12,500 per month, you know. And I know some people are going to hear that and be like, wow, man, weren't you just talking about providing value and doing the things that make you happy and doing the things that are meaningful and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, man, I am. I am that same guy. I am that same person. And to be quite honest, let me put it this way. That will allow me to provide for my family with insurance, schooling, blah, 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 all the fun accoutrement that comes with having a family and you know, all that great stuff. It allows for them to be provided for, and it allows me to have a little bit of runway and a little bit of space and a peace of mind of not worrying about if the next job comes in, when the next job comes in, you know, not worrying about when the next client comes in. So now all of a sudden, right now I'm switching my mindset from a scarcity mindset of where I got to take everything, every little $100, $500, $1,000 job. And I don't mean to diminish the $1,000 jobs. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is when you feel like that's all you can get, when you feel like that's all that's in your grasp, then you're going to take it and hold on to it and act like it's the entree to your meal. And what my goals are, because I want my goals to be big, I want to aim big so that way, even if I miss, I'm going to land above everybody else a little bit. Hopefully, right? Hopefully that's the goal. That's me knocking on wood, compressed wood. You know, one of the goals is to get a better desk. Anyways, you know, no, it's 12,500 a month. And that allows me to not worry and not be in a scarcity mindset. That allows me to be in a surplus mindset. So that allows my cortisol levels to come down, right? That allows my stress levels to come down. That allows me to not focus on negative thoughts, ruminations, outlooks. And it allows more of an optimistic, positive. You're looking for solutions rather than it allows me to look for the problems. It allows me to look for the solutions to your problems without really, really, really worrying about, you know, the hound on the doorstep. You know, it allows me to provide as much value as possible. And I guess for some reason as a creative, right? I even right now I feel like I'm trying to justify it to you, the listener. Like it feels weird to feel like, "Oh, I'm trying to justify the fact that I want to live a uh the best life possible while giving the most value possible, while giving back as much as possible." You know, and to say that while, you know, I don't know. It feels as if right, we should always be the starving artist, that we should always devalue all our work or not. I don't know. If somebody else is willing to place a high value on our work, why are we so quick to go like, "Oh, that's no, no, no." I mean, I'm learning to have that confidence. To know, my past work. No, I know I couldn't get to. I know with the past stuff that I've done, I will honestly say this: full disclosure, full transparency, secret time, secret time, secret time. Right? Um, the work that I've done in the past is nowhere near the work that I know that one I'm capable of and two that I'm currently putting out now. And the work that I'm putting out now isn't even, I mean, I don't know. It sounds full of yourself, but I just know, I know that I spent a long time not having any confidence behind my work. And if you don't have confidence behind your work, you know, uh then you have to ask it's not necessarily a bad thing. That would be a great uh sign of okay, well, why don't you feel great about your work? What is it? And evaluate it, run it past others. For me personally, the work that I put out in the past never set out to achieve a goal. I set out to put out work that looked good, don't get me wrong. I guess subjectively you could say that it looked good, but in order to make this $12,500 a month, in order to justify that, I got to be able to go and provide some real metrics behind that, and to provide some real return on investment, I guess. You to provide some real ROI on those, on that. And I heard a great quote today. Heard, read, whatever it may be. But it said, if you think good design costs a lot, try cheap design. Meaning, there's a reason why we're attracted to the brands that we are, right? There's a reason why we walk past certain brands that we do. Next time you find yourself being attracted to a certain brand or a certain thing, just ask yourself why. You know, and therein lies the answer. I would assume if you're walking past something on a shelf or if you're browsing something, I know I've bought albums purely based off the artwork alone, purely based off the front cover alone. Never have listened to them before. Thank God I did that because I found out about a very good band called Baroness probably about 10 years ago, and it's been the best decision I've ever made ever since. Um, you know, design matters. Good design matters. And while good design might cost a little bit, bad design will cost you a whole lot, and I'm learning to set the goals, to do the work, to do the necessary work, the strategy, all the components that go into a good, all the brand. I'm attempting to learn. I'm trying to put in all that legwork that I feel like I missed out on. Rather than flog myself, rather than tie myself to the whipping post and you know take my lashes. I'm really really going, okay. Well, what enough of enough of me feeling guilty. Now let's or self punishment or not worthy or whatever. Let's learn. Let's start providing some value. And yeah, I love that. I love that. I love that. And as much as I want to provide value to these brands, as much as I want to provide as much value as possible with these brands, right? But I also want to provide as much value as possible to the designer, because that's going to, I don't know. Maybe it sounds selfish, but if I can help out another designer, help out a brand, then regardless, that brand gets helped. They get delivered a piece of quality deliverables, and everybody benefits. I feel like, I don't know. I go back to the Kurt Vonnegut quote when he asked his son, and tells him, "What's the meaning of life?" I don't know. I think the meaning of life is to help each other out through this, whatever it is. And some, like I said earlier, help or helping each other sometimes means doing the hard work yourself and trying to put it out now, you know what I mean, in this context, trying to put it out there for others in the hopes that others may learn or get motivated or even watch this and be like, this jackass has a podcast. Oh my God, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Let me go start my own. If you go and do that, oh man, please, first off, tag me, get a hold of me somehow and say, you know what I mean? Call me the jackass. I'm cool with that. But please go out and create. Like, oh man, like that I'm telling you, man, like, uh yeah, I don't moving the needle. And being willing to ask the questions versus take the orders. I my mindset has changed, man. My mindset has changed. I don't know what else to tell you. uh I I can only hope that you know other people drink the Kool-Aid, if you will. I don't know. I'm just trying to spread the word, spread the gospel, man, of valuing your work and realizing that, okay, no, there's steps, there's a scaffold, but we don't have to be starving artists. We don't have to devalue our work. We don't have to feel bad for feeling good. We don't have to feel bad for making a living off of what we do. Because if somebody else is going to value it a lot, Steve Raboyne talked about, go check him out, Raboyne Design Co. Great, 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 great designer. I mean, yeah, I can't say enough great things about that guy. Uh, he was talking about how somebody had reached out on LinkedIn to him, and they asked him, you know what I mean, how they asked him, he wanted to have him do a shirt design. He goes, okay, 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 and they essentially told him, we've got $10,000. Here you go. And he got $10,000 for doing shirts. Good, and good on him. So if that attorney, because I believe it was an attorney, is willing to spend that much, would you be willing to say no? I'm going to ask you, my fellow designers who I wish to connect with, who I definitely, who that I want to grow my network of good knowing people, so that way I can, if I come across something like this and I can pass it on, you can say yes to, a $10,000 job. This is reality, man. I don't know. It's it's me drinking the Kool-Aid completely, and I full on admit it. But knowing that I value myself will mean that I can help others value themselves as well. And I looking to connect with vendors in order to have a like that web or network of people that I know will give the best possible value to clients. You know, there's a couple merch places that I've seen that I want to reach out to. It seems like their values align with mine. I don't even want it seems weird. It seems, in this day and age, we're always expecting something for something, so it feels really weird to like, I worry that if, that's the resistance, right? I worry that if I reach out and let anybody know or tell anybody, hey, it look you, the product and what you put out is top notch. I would love to partner with you. If I get any clients who are looking for, say, apparel printing, I can design it and you can print it, you know, and take your 10% and go. you know, if you're able to do that, make sure you get your 10%, make sure you get that little bit of money in your pocket, and then you go, because that's a nice little fee, because they would not be able to do the work on that particular job without you. You brought the lead in. That's a good thing. Yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, I getting back, I want to help. I want to connect with designers. I want to be able to answer any questions that people may have. And if I don't have the answer, I'm willing to go and try and find it. And if it's a good enough answer that warrants a full episode, I'm willing to reach out to somebody and have a conversation with them to maybe wax philosophical. I mean, I know everybody says it right, but it's like, I don't know. It'd be cool to be like the Joe Rogan of design podcasts. Maybe that'd be cool. I don't know. That's just me. Whether or not we get there together. We don't get there together. Either way, I don't know. That's a goal. um, Another goal, you know what I mean, for as far as community is to go to workshops like the Future has, or how Aaron Draplin has, even if it means like I gotta go and fly into Salt Lake, like he's going into Salt Lake in a couple weeks, I believe. Maybe in a month or two, and man, oh man, like there's a temptation there to go. Um, going to events like CropCon, CropCon pop-ups, and that's going to be over in San Diego. Going and listening and connecting with people. Getting out there, doing everything like that, doing the damn thing. And if I get out there and if I go to these things, then maybe I can host one. I don't know, hosting event, workshop, maybe a meetup. I don't know, or we can create design challenges. I mean, I don't know. Coming up with these innovative and not only do they have to be like kind of innovative, but they have to be like not even that. They got to be attractive ideas. You know what I mean? And engaging ideas is tough, but man, that's what makes it fun, right? So trying to get you to be like, man, this asshole's right. I gotta, I gotta, I gotta reach out. I gotta let him know, oh, he's right, or whatever, or here's my design, or this or that. And you know, to top it all off, most importantly, my personal goals, my personal goals, are to get back into the gym. I've taken a month or two hiatus, been dealing with some nagging health injuries that have gone on. I've kind of got the tentative thumbs up from the doctor to get back in. So, you know what I mean? Get back into the gym and continue with the healthy diet. I plan on joining the Future Pro Group, get as much mentoring and guidance and leadership as possible. Trying to make sure that I'm not letting my ego get too big and think that I have all the answers. Because when I think I know it all, then I end up all by myself, like just going like, "What the hell happened?" Just try to figure out what went wrong. And so, recognizing these patterns in my life, knowing that okay, reach out. There's a community right there, and thanks to adjusting the mindset, I don't view the price of I don't view the monthly fee for the Future Pro Group as a as an expense. I view it as an investment. Everything that I've learned from them, both what I've gotten off of YouTube and what I've paid for and bought off of their courses, has been absolutely invaluable and worth every single thing that I paid, every single cent and penny and dollar and Bitcoin, whatever. And eventually, you know what I mean? I hope to get my son into a school where they're going to harbor his and cultivate his creativity. Um, teach him empathy or or at least not even teach, because what, right? Educate is to educe. Educe is the root. Is it the Greek root? Is it Greek? Yeah, Greek root of educate is educe, which means to draw out. So I want them to draw out his empathy. You know what I mean? To have the conversation, not just be, I don't know. If he's got round corners and he's in a room full of squares, I don't want them to cut his round corners, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. Personal stuff. I want to get a new couch. I want to get paintball equipment. That's just me. That's just me being a little kid. I want a new couch because whenever I get the chance to relax on the couch, yeah, the one we currently have is a bit old and starting to get, I don't know, butt grooves worn in it. So it'd be nice to get a new one. And paintball equipment because I want to get out and active more on the weekends, at least in the morning. So then that way I can, I don't know, man. If you've ever gone paintballing, all those designs and everything, the aesthetic of some of those, those presentations, the jerseys, yeah. Maybe I'll have to do an episode on that. But yeah, that's that, and that's that. You know what I mean? I don't know, just those goals. I know that was a lot. That was probably a 15-minute podcast filled into a 50-minute podcast because I like to ramble on like Led Zeppelin. But man, if I can offer one piece of advice, but bear the burden, set the goals, and let's do it, because the only thing that's worse than failing at the goals is going to be the regret of not even setting one or trying to achieve it. And I know that I don't know. I know that it'd be very, 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 very uh easy just to be, laissez-faire and just go with the flow. We always got to go with the flow, right? But we also have an incredible amount of power in our brains. And so just at least make a decision on if I can offer one piece of sage advice, make a decision. Don't worry about if anybody else is going to judge it. Make sure your decision doesn't hurt anybody else, first off. But, make a decision with your life and go for it. And if it's what makes you happy, what makes you feel fulfilled and gives you a feeling of a meaningful existence, then do it. Don't let anything stop you. Don't even let if it's pay, then don't even let pay. I will tell you right now, and I'll leave with this, shout out to my dad. I know it sounds weird, but shout out to Big Frank, because if you have the pleasure and the honor of knowing my dad, then you know that he volunteers at the college that he retired from. And it's not like he went back because it's like, you know what I mean? It's the old cat that goes back to his former house and doesn't know how to leave or whatever. It's not that. I didn't call my dad an old cat, by the way. Chill out. It's it. My dad knew that he retired, and even though he retired, he still knew that he had a lot of value, and his goal was to help. So he went back and is helping as a counselor. He retired as a counselor, and he went back and is volunteering as a counselor. Doesn't get paid for it, just volunteers. And when I call that guy and he's done with us, he's done helping out a student, that those students could be like my brother or my sister with as much enthusiasm as he speaks about them. So uh that's my goal. My goal is, man, oh man, I gotta hit you with a Ric Flair. Had to hit you with the Ric Flair drop just so at least I can give him a second to regain myself. My goal is to help out these businesses as much as my dad helps out these students. And if you want more context to that, reach out to me. I'll be happy to talk about that guy as much as I can. So, yeah, that's that, and that's it. That was this that's the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Thank you so much for listening to me go on and on with a housekeeping episode and not really having a specific topic. I mean, I guess I did have a topic, but it was a selfish one in mind. But I'm only saying this selfishly, so then that way you can keep me accountable, and then I can learn about you, and I can keep you accountable, and then we all keep accountable in this whole system and everything. So I don't know, man. It feels good. Thank you. If please, if you can, help spread the word. Share this with your friends. You know what I mean? Share this coworkers, maybe if you're cool with them like that. Family members, Instagram, whatever you can. It's at Life Between Screens on Instagram. Make sure watching this on YouTube, you like, subscribe, and you hit the bell for the notification so that way you can be notified when there's a new episode. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much. My name is Anthony Urquidez. It has been a pleasure to be able to talk to you. I look forward to next episode, and I look forward to hearing from you to see what you thought about this episode. Matt, I'm still looking forward to your video game review. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.